Jessica's TLC lesson. I'm going to let it go through normal and then do a slow play review.
Give him pocket going in. Sit, lift, look. Lift your hand, not drop it. Lift it up. Give him room going in. Low hand. Sit, lift. Look around. Good, better. Good job.
Okay, so I'm going to slow play this to show you what I would like for you to do. First of all, your hands need to be even. You're kind of crossing them. You're kind of pulling his face to the outside and kind of moving him over a little bit to get to your arc. So rather than having cricket hands, by the time you get to your approach spot, you need to have him, you're coming from the center of the alleyway, your hands need to be more even. So if you back this up, you'll see just from the start, you kind of start, you kind of start not quite lined up with third, so then you're trying to get him over the whole time with his face, and it just becomes a pulling match. So I'd rather see you start out more lined up with third and then stay, when you come into your approach, closer to that cone so you have a nice arc, okay, rather than trying to pull him over the whole time over here. So that's one thing you can change. And then right here, he doesn't have enough pocket going into the turn, so he comes out wide. So what I'd like for you to do is keep your approach a little wider and then come in a little bit more, maybe 4 foot off the barrel instead of where you're at, which was like only a foot off the barrel. And then notice your body position, your shoulders forward. On the back side, spot 2 to spot 3, the exit, you want your inside shoulder to come back. You should go to the horn and your inside hand will lift up just about horn high, and then that way he can leave straighter instead of stepped off where he's at. So if you'll notice, your run, you go in tight and step off wide. And then you're back up leaning forward a little bit too early. You do get him over, but by the time you get him over, you're okay there. But see, your hands are trying to move him over. If you would have left straighter, you could have just used that leg and already been in position a little quicker. Wouldn't have had to use your hands so much. So right there was nice. I love how you're sitting down. You go to the horn, and that's really nice. Your reine's loose. You're on the horn. Your hands floating going in. That's perfect position. He's going to have his 2 strides of rate before he goes into the barrel. Sorry, 1, 2. And then that way he'll only have 2 strides around the barrel is the goal. 1, 2. Now he took a little extra, and the reason why, with 2.5 strides around the barrel, is notice your hand when you get to the backside. Again, you're pulling your hand down and your body's forward. Instead of this, what you want to do is have the shoulder back and the hand needs to come up by the horn, not drop down to your thigh. Okay, and then he would be able to finish tighter. So by sitting more on the back side with your shoulder and hip back, your hand up by your horn instead of down by your thigh, he would have been able to come around quicker and tighter. Okay, all right, so now you get off his face good, but then right here you're trying to get your line, which is okay. You stayed at the horn, which is fine because he's going where he should. He's on the correct lead, 1 stride of rate, 2 strides of rate. 1, 2 strides around the barrel. Your hand was better in this turn than the last one. We may want to adjust your rein length possibly, but even still here you're pulling back. So we might want to shorten those reins because your hand should be right there. Right there. Okay, so floating him coming in, and then instead of pulling on him here, you sat down good, you pushed against the horn, but you're pulling on him too much for your rate. You should be able to just sit down and say, whoa, here, and not be pulling on him yet. Only on the back side would you bring your shoulder and hip back and bring that hand up towards the horn, not out to the side, and then he can come around. So we need to make some adjustments in your hand position, and maybe we might want to shorten your reins a couple inches as well.